Mollison was prepared to teach anyone who would listen. With the rise of the environmental movement, he found a ready audience. But while most were protesting for the preservation of rainforests, Bill was training his army for the restoration of the land that had been destroyed.
Nitrogenous high cover under which the black passion fruits seed and go up.
His fight with ideas had begun, and forests of food were his final goal.
Reinvigorate this back into a faster production. The highest energy. The initial reaction from the teaching establishment was one of shock, horror and opposition. And I could say that the whole of the educational establishment almost rose against me. I was invited to speak to august bodies with the object really of tearing me to pieces. I was treading across the disciplines. Permaculture always did lie between the disciplines. It's a connecting system between disciplines.
But Mollison's ideas kept growing, and his band of converts turned to influencing the mainstream. Once a year, every major town holds a show, and the local permaculture group has its stall next to the tractor and pesticide companies. Handing out seedlings and show bags, they hope they'll win the war, but they are up against powerful forces. Agriculture is the cultural and economic backbone of the lucky country. The fair presents a rosy image of rural health and abundance. But the real problem, Mollison says, is that modern agriculture is not a system for producing food, but producing money. In sustaining this wealth, modern agriculture pays no respect to the resources it is based on. No one yet pays for the damage at the end of the chain.
Society's caught up in this system of destruction. Instead of all that, you can grow a garden in a few weeks. They'll provide you with vegetables and timber all your life. And it seems to me to be much more sane and responsible that people should be trained to put in those few weeks of work. This is the thinking man's potato patch. We use Saturday Supplement of the newspaper and turn disinformation into food. This is the best use for advertising. Best use for news, bad news. This is going to be good news one day.
The political situations of few buyers for a 10-story office. Mortgage rates are set.
You can still put straw on a potato because it will come through, but for other plants it'll kill them. Digging causes work. Work causes digging. Weeds cause work. Digging causes weeds. Cause and effect. Vicious cycle.
The straw mulch imitates the litter of the forest floor. It retains water by stopping evaporation and controls weeds as well.
Straw. And this is where the designer turns into a recliner. You can rest in your garden. If you have it already well planted, you can pretend to be working in the garden and be invisible from the house. Part of the total design of the lazy gardener. Over here are young potatoes coming through.
It saves a lot of work and in the end soil. But there are other strategies as well.
And then the pigeon pea, which is very good legume. It lasts a few years.
Bill thinks planting is a lot easier than weeding. And if you have enough plants in, there's no room for the weeds. So the only work the gardener needs to do is a leisurely stroll, whilst admiring the wonders of nature at work.
This is a acacia fimbriata, which is a very good chicken forage. And this is, it's got a lot of good characteristics. It's cradle area. First of all, it's brittle and it's easy to mulch. And then it also is one of the group of legumes that catches nematodes in its roots. Has 3 little cells like this. A nematode comes through and it strangles them and eats them. All plants are carnivores. They eat you in the end.
Bill expects to do a lot more eating himself before he's eaten by the plants.
Coriander, which is another volunteer, we didn't plant it. Celery, some small head cabbages, these small ones are good for a small family. Fallen ground cover under the chart, parsley itself here. And then lots and lots of basil, in fact an embarrassment of basil. No matter how regular I started this garden, it will inevitably turn itself into chaos. This untidiness is actually good natural order. Tidiness is maintained disorder.
In fact, Mollison's property has been very carefully planned. He moved there less than a year ago, and already nature is running rampant. Much of the success is based on his underground plumbing system. He uses what is called a swale. The rainwater is trapped, absorbed into the ground, and then sent slowly downhill.
Instead of rushing off this property and we have a drought 3 days later, all this water is now travelling through the subsoil under the tree system I've put in down there to take it up. And if we do this repeatedly uphill, we never have a drought. It's not possible. Australia's not a dry continent. It just has 88% of its water runs off or evaporates. So we simply slow up the progress of a resource through the landscape. We're a resource like water, and we trap it in soil, we trap it in dams, and make it do its duties. In the engineering term, water has duties to do, and the main duty it has to do for us and for total design is to grow plants.
What's your garden going to be like in 5 years?
Well, it'll be hard to get through, and there's be a grave danger of being killed by falling fruit, I think. I don't know, I mean, there's going to be hundreds of kilograms of fruit product. I'm not quite sure. I think I'll have to join forces with a pig. Get a friend to help me harvest the system, you know. Convert pawpaw into pig. And then I'll have to have a party. Hanging. And we'll all celebrate overproduction.
Bill expects his garden to grow as dense as this forest. But a forest is more than just trees and plants. It is a home to many animals as well.
You can see an animal simply as a mobile part of the forest. It's not something separate from the forest. Pigeons come in, eat the fruits from the top of the forest and take it out to the forest edge and extend the forest. So the pigeons are the planters and extension system of this forest. Wallaby can't exist without the fungi can't exist without the tree can't exist without the fungi and the wallaby and the currawong. So that's a guild.